Hello and welcome to the Enterprise World magazine. Today, we are thrilled to feature two dynamic leaders who are shaping the future of HR excellence. Evelyn Chow, the visionary founder and director of DecodeHR, and Iris Lew, the passionate senior engagement manager at DecodeHR. Decode HR is redefining workplace excellence by combining strategic HR practices with cutting edge technology to empower organizations and unlock their people's full potential. Evelyn and Iris, it's an absolute honor to have both of you with us today. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Apuva.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So, Evelyn, we'll get started with you. So, Decode HR has come a long way since its foundation in 2011. So, what inspired you to establish Decode HR, and also how has the journey been so far?
Sure. Well, as you pointed out, Apuva, the journey did start quite a long time ago. It's been more than 10 years now. And Decode HR was founded shortly after I left my last role as the Clients Services Director at Hudson with the RPO business. And the main reason was really because I was looking for the flexibility so I could raise my young family. And at the same time, I wanted to stay connected to the working world and still wanted to have my career. So that was how it started. In terms of the journey, it's been an amazing journey, very enriching and full of surprises. We did not start off with bold, or very large great ambitions, but we really just wanted to be able to start a business, a firm that could really make a difference for our clients, to create a workplace that would value people. And journey has been very interesting. I've had the pleasure of working with some excellent people, excellent clients. So it's been more than rewarding.
Oh, that's fantastic and so nice to know from you. So, Iris, coming to you, with over three decades of HR experience, how did you transition into your role at Decode HR? And also, what excites you most about your work here?
hmm Okay, I guess for me, as you mentioned, that 3 decades is a long, long time. And I think leaving the so-called the banking world, there's really a fundamental mindset shift that's required from something that is really routine, fixed, even to the thing of like a physical office setup, a team and everything, to a completely flexible work schedule and pattern, to 90% virtual meetings like we're doing now. It is really something that I have to get used to since I joined Decode HR earlier this year, or rather in May. But having said that, I think adapted fine. I think the team is very helpful, especially Evelyn. I think she has really helped me a lot in terms of transitioning into the role. I think what really excites me about the work here is that this is really very different from my traditional banking role. It allows me to really get to know a really, really variety mix of shareholders, right? Because there's no definition of who are the businesses that we support. It could be really from one industry to another. So that has really been exciting. And I think what has been rewarding, or rather, excited me most, is that despite having 3 decades of the experience very much in the financial and banking world, the ability to still value add, with the experience to all the different business that we are supporting, has definitely helped to give me that so-called excitement or the boost to the role.
That's great. So, how does Decode HR strategies for talent acquisition and retention set it apart from traditional HR services providers?
Mm.
I think our strategies are very much holistic. And we really look at it from a very comprehensive point of view, not just in terms of for the employees, but really relating to the broader environment, to the landscape, in terms of how the organization would be positioned to really win, as in outperform. So I think the strategies are, in that sense, a lot more comprehensive. And we also want to ensure that where possible, we optimize the processes and use technology and really seek to digitalize as much as possible. So I think our strategies are often seeking to work smart and not just to work hard, or just to focus on areas that seem very obvious. I think we really want to look at very strategic areas where we can innovate and do better, and work very closely with the clients to ensure that that strategy is going to work for them in the longer term. So we emphasize a lot on long-term strategies, not just looking at the immediate returns. So I think that's something that we want to focus on, having that sustainability and that longevity in our solutions.
Mhm.
That's superb. And Evelyn, because you talked about employees, for any company to succeed or have overall growth, a team is very important. So Decode HR emphasizes creating workplaces where the employees can thrive. So what are the key factors that contribute to such an environment?
I think apart from the usual best practices out there, where you look at not just benefits, compensation, creating a great workplace, creating an environment that is very conducive. I think we focus a lot on building good teams. So I think that's truly the secret sauce in, if I may say, when we have teams that work well together, it really helps to ensure that we really put our best foot forward, and we really want to make sure that we are supporting our colleagues as much as we can, and that really helps us naturally to do our best work. I think the other point that's very important is we always seek to understand the individual aspirations and motivations of all our team members. And really that means that we can't, just take a very general approach to how we work with our teams. It does mean taking time and effort to understand our members, our team members well and on an individual level. So I think that's something that's important, and that's what we encourage our clients to do as well, to really to create a workplace that brings out the best in every individual. It's not always easy. It takes a lot of effort. So I think that's where understanding broader trends and applying it to the organization will help, because if you have a very large team, it would also mean that, you need to have a very dedicated manager who will really make the effort to get to know their team members really well.
Mhm. Yeah. So if I may just add on to what Evelyn has said, I think I think it's also important to have leaders who are inspirational for that matter, and who walk the talk. And I think when the leader does that, the rest of the members will kind of follow suit, and you naturally kind of create a culture that is trusting, that is open. And I think when you have such a culture where it's still safe at the same time to speak your mind, that will really kind of provide an environment where they can actually thrive. Yeah.
That's super. So, no journey of a leader or a company is completed without the challenges. So, there are multiple challenges that every day a leader faces, a company faces. So, what are the biggest challenges organizations in the talent management face today? And also, how does Decode HR help them overcome it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I think many of the challenges relate to first having the right people on the team, and then ensuring that the teams are given the leeway, or basically given opportunity to develop to their potential. I think that is one of the challenges. And it's especially challenging in today's environment when where there's a lot of complexity, there's a lot of volatility. They call it the VUCA environment, and managers and leaders have a lot that they need to juggle, on top of ensuring that that they stay close to their teams, motivate their teams, and are doing their best for their clients. So I think that's probably one of the greatest challenges today, for many organizations. Um, And with an environment and economy that has also been challenging globally, I think that has been especially difficult to really keep a close eye on talent management. But I think all the more with such a challenging environment, it has meant that having the best people and having people who are motivated and engaged is so critical to ensuring that your organization is doing its best work. So I think um, being able to support leaders so that they can continue to invest in their people, to coach and guide, and giving the support that they need in order to deliver well to their clients is going to be very critical.
Okay, that's excellent. Evelyn, you are an advocate for agile HR. So, how does this methodology align with Decode HR solutions?
Um, I think we first actually, really came across Agile and its principles and its concepts sort of in the middle of COVID. So that was around the 2019 period. And that became very real for us because it meant that we had to transition in many ways in terms of how we were doing business, how we were having meetings, how we were doing business development even, right? And as a team, how we are engaging. So the concept of being agile really, was very real to us. And that was when we realized that the cadence of having, those stand-up meetings was very important. The ability to reiterate and not always seek, perfection was also very important. We were also running a lot of things for the first time. For example, webinars. We started doing a lot more webinars during the COVID period. And we had to reinvent the way we were delivering to our clients in many ways and the way we were doing marketing. So, so for us, what it meant to be agile was very real. And that was when we really invested in learning and training, ourselves in that area.
That's great, and I think that was the need of the hour back then. So, kudos on acting upon that and achieving and effectively implementing it in your solutions as well. Iris, my next question is to you. With your
Mm.
extensive background in stakeholder management, how do you ensure alignment between HR strategy and business objectives?
Mm, yeah, I mean, if I could really, just to summarize, is really lots of engagement and communication with business leaders all the time. I think the ability to help business leaders to know that HR is not just transactional, nor operational, and beyond that, that we are able to strategically partner them to help them on the people agenda side. But I think at the same time, being HR, there's also the importance for us to really understand the business and not just the people part, so that's where we are able to get into really strategic, good business decisions and discussions with the stakeholders, so that we are able to really to value add to their business propositions. And for me, it's always aiming like to be the trusted advisor to the stakeholders. Yes.
That's superb. It's very important for us to hop on the trends and really keep up with what's happening and with the changing demographics. So, how is Decode HR preparing organizations to adapt to the emerging trends and also such as digitization and employee engagement?
I think we do it from two angles. One is that we actually publish quite a lot of content and we create quite a lot of content that we share across multiple platforms and channels. And it could even be through meetings that we have, breakfast, luncheons, for example, and events that we have where we would share with our clients and other stakeholders some of these trends and strategies that they could consider adopting and some of the insights that we want to be able to share in the market. So we do that quite a lot in person, offline, online, we do that. And of course, when we are consulting, on projects with our clients, that's when we will directly work with them to craft the solutions and the strategies. And that's where we would share with them thinking behind that and the rationale for why we would propose a certain model, for example, or when we use a certain framework and what is the outcome that we want to achieve. So that's where we will really share with them the macro and micro views of the landscape, the economy, the business environment. Yeah, so there are quite a few key ways that we do that.
That's amazing. So, Evelyn, you know that technology has reached the top of the mountain right now, and implementing it in the solutions is a must have for all organizations. So, what drives your passion for leveraging technology in HR, and how do you see it evolving in the next decade?
Um, I think for me personally, it first became quite apparent about 7 or 8 years back that, digitalization uh, was going to be very, very critical to the success of organizations, and particularly even in the space of human capital. When I say even in the space of human capital, because I think sometimes it's not that apparent that you need to invest in technology in the human capital space. But it became very clear for us when we saw the developments and how technology was evolving, that that this was certainly a space that would be very important to automate and also to reap the benefits of digitalization. As we know, there's so much out there in terms of data analytics, insights that you can gain from data, and how it can help you to make better decisions as an organization. So I think that was inevitable. It was really a matter of how fast an organization would be able to embrace and implement technology. It was not a question of whether they would do it or not. It was really the speed, at which they would be doing it.
That's awesome. So, Iris, my next question is to you. You're deeply involved in mentoring and volunteer work. So, how does this shape your approach to fostering growth and potential within Decode HR?
Mm. I think for a start, I think back to what I've said earlier, really walking the talk is important. Because I think when you walk the talk, people see you for who you are. Naturally, respect and trust is gained. And when that actually, is something that's achieved, then you find that the team dynamics is so much better, and that actually provides the environment to foster growth. Because when there's trust, when there's openness, you actually allow ideas to generate faster. You actually also allow people to come together to look at business solutions, not as an individual, but as a team. And, there's always that saying, right, more brains is better than one. And I think when that comes about and there is actually a holistic solution that has been developed, everybody owns that piece of that solution, that will also provide to that. And everybody sees, right, that there's environment for growth and potential. I think again, also because we're really very lean, right? I think that was also, as what Evelyn had said, that not just we need to be really agile. We ourselves have to be very agile too in terms of really taking on different roles. And I think I see that within the team that, whether you can do marketing, let's do marketing, you can do IT, you do IT. If that's your strength, you come in to engage. And I think in that, all of us are working together really in one direction. And I think that also will help in terms of how we can actually contribute to making Decode HR grow in the next decade.
That's excellent. So, both of you have had this distinguished careers and very rich and diverse experiences. So, what has been the most fulfilling moment in your career at Decode HR so far?
Evelyn will have more to say, I guess.
What has been the most
Fulfilling
Fulfilling
moment.
moment.
I think it's really about working with our team and our clients both. Working with really good people in our team and supporting clients whom we really enjoy working with and whom we enjoy supporting and partnering with. think that gives us, for me personally, tremendous satisfaction when we know that what we are putting together will really help the client in the long run, and will make difference to how they themselves can in turn, be a great organization to work for.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah.
I guess for me is really probably a bit too new to comment, but I think, even despite the few months, I think having that affirmation, seeing that you actually do value add to the business, and having the business come back to tell you that, hey, that helps, that has really been something that I guess is helping me to gain momentum, and therefore also increasing the desire to grow with the team and with the firm. Yeah.
That's superb. We'll touch a little bit upon the future coming to the end right now. What's next for Decode HR as it continues to redefine workplace excellence, and also especially with the new branch that's happening in Taiwan?
Yeah. I think we are very much focused on continuing the work that we are doing with our tech partners. So that continues to be very important to us. And for us, moving into Taiwan, which would be close to almost a year now, has also been a very exciting journey, with a very different culture, and with very different emphasis in terms of the industry focus. So it's also been very educational for us in many ways. We're learning a lot, gaining a lot, and of course also working with clients, and our team member in Taiwan has also been very, very interesting. I think the potential is there, and we are really focusing on continuing to grow our presence, our visibility in Taiwan, and again, very much focus on similar areas, which would include digitalization and strategic HR consultancy, helping organizations to build that infrastructure to ensure that they can hire well and retain and develop their people.
Mm.
Yeah, that sounds ambitious. So this brings us to the end of the interview. So I would just like to give you a vote of thanks to the both of you. So thank you, Evelyn and Iris, for sharing your incredible journey and insights into the transformative work that Decode HR is doing. And I think your passion for empowering organizations and nurturing workplaces is truly inspiring. We look forward to seeing Decode HR continue to redefine HR excellence and lead the way for the future and the next generation. To our viewers, if you'd like to learn more about Decode HR, please visit their website, which is www.decodehr.com. Thank you for tuning in to the Enterprise World magazine, and stay inspired and keep redefining excellence in your industries.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Iris and Evelyn, and I wish you
Thank
all the
you.
best for your future.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thanks, Apurva. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Nice, lovely meeting you, both of you.
thanks.
All
Likewise.
right.
Thank you for your time.
Yes,
Okay.
you too. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.